Om Aganda Timarandasya Ganajana Shivakaya Chakshur Umrisamyena Tajma Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tanapano.
Hare Krishna. Welcome back to this video series on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We are currently on Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Chapter 7 opens with Krishna explaining knowledge of himself and his opulent energies. Krishna first explains that he is the supreme truth and everything in existence is a combination of his material and spiritual energies. Because the modes of nature which emanate from Krishna control the world's activities, only those who surrender to Krishna can cross beyond these modes and know him. At the end of Chapter 7, it is explained that those souls who know Krishna as the governor of the material manifestation, the demigods and sacrifice, can know and understand Krishna even at the time of death. Text number 1. Now hear, O son of Prita, how by practicing yoga in full of consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and nominal, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these 8 comprise my separate material energies. Besides this inferior nature, O mighty Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mine, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both its origin and dissolution. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls are strung on a thread. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and the ability in man. I am the original fragrance of earth, and I am the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance in all aesthetics. O son of Prita, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. Krishna begins by saying, by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, you can know me completely, without a doubt. Hearing about Krishna or hearing from him develops full faith described in Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, text 47. Hearing about Krishna is essential to fix one's full consciousness upon him. Krishna tells Arjuna, just hear, because knowledge of him is beyond the 3 modes of nature and is inaccessible through ordinary means. Knowledge leaves nothing unknown. Srila Prabhupada explains, complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. This is transcendental knowledge. Srila Prabhupada also writes about the potency of bhakti. It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yasoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Only a rare soul knows Krishna in truth. Krishna will emphasize the rarity of knowing about him by repeating this point twice more in this chapter, text 19 and 26. Krishna has summed up the material world by describing its basic elements. His first description ranges from gross to subtle. The first 5 are gross elements. Each has their sense object connected to them. Earth, fragrance; water, taste; fire, form; air, touch; ether, sound. Next is the mind, intelligence, and false ego. The false ego is the cause of the 5 knowledge-acquiring senses and the 5 working senses. All these material elements are called apara, inferior, because they lack consciousness. Krishna has empowered this material energy to move separately and independently of his direct control. Thus it is called separated. Krishna explains that there is another superior energy of his, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. The combination of Krishna's 2 energies makes up everything, both living and non-living, in the material world. The 2 energies are called Kshetra and Kshetragan, and they will be discussed in detail in chapter 13. The point we are to understand here, however, is that everything ultimately consists of Krishna, because everything is his energy. Krishna has told Arjuna that he is the creator and the destroyer. Krishna also explains that he is the maintainer. Krishna maintains everything, but no one can see him, just as no one can see the thread that holds together a pearl necklace. Again, we can know Krishna only by hearing from him or about him from an authorized source. If we accept Krishna's assertion that everything material and spiritual comes from him, we become able to see him everywhere. We should appreciate Krishna not only as the cause of everything, but also as the essence of everything. Krishna has already explained that the element water comes from him, but what we most appreciate about water is the taste. That taste which quenches our thirst is Krishna. He is the active ingredient, the essence of water. Similarly, the essential principle of the sun and moon is light. Although sunlight heats and the moonlight cools, that essential principle is Krishna. Om is the essence of the Vedic mantras. Sound is the essential element in ether. A man's ability is the essential quality he possesses by which he can become great. All these essential ingredients are Krishna. In text 9, Krishna explains that he is the original fragrance of earth. He is the heat and fire, the life and all that lives, and the penances of all ascetics. The essence of fire is heat. Heat is necessary to cook our food, and it is not only the food, however, that is maintaining us. We must also be able to digest the food. That fire of digestion is Krishna's energy. The soul, which is the essence of life, is an energy of Krishna. The essence of an ascetic's life is penance, or his ability to tolerate austerities. That ability is also Krishna's gift. Text 11. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bhartas. All states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of this material nature. Deluded by the 3 modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, who partake in the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. O best among the Bhartas, 4 kinds of men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Of these, the wise one who is in full knowledge and union with me through pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him, and he is very dear to me. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider verily to dwell in me. Being engaged in my transcendental love and service, he attains me. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto the demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. In text 11, Krishna ends his description of how he is the essential or maintaining principle of various manifestations. We have now understood that Krishna is both the cause and the essence of everything. In text 12, Krishna summarizes, adding that everything is under his control, including the three modes of material nature, which in turn control this world. This verse ends Krishna's discussion of his para, spiritual, and apara, material energies. At this point, one may wonder why we are preventing from seeing, knowing, and surrendering to Krishna if he is, in one way or another, everywhere. Rather than thinking of Krishna as a source of everything, deluded people think, as I am subject to the modes of nature, so is Krishna. The living entities in Kali Yuga are so self-centered and covered over by false ego that they cannot understand Krishna properly, much less see him. 4 types of people are devoid of piety, and thus they never surrender to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes that such people are not truly learned and therefore can be considered neither Mahajans nor Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada describes each of these 4 types of discreteness in his purport. First is Mudhas, or grossly foolish. Srila Prabhupada writes, most often, those who work very hard day and night to clear the burden of self-created duties say that they have no time to hear of the mortality of the living beings. To such mudhas, material gains, which are destructible, are life's all in all, despite the fact that the mudhas enjoy only a very small fraction of the fruit of labor. Second are Naradamas, lowest among mankind. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, having become civilized human beings by practicing devotional service for some time, later they decide that devotional practices are impractical for achieving their aims in life and thus whimsically discard devotional service. The symptom of their being Adama, or most fallen, is their intentional rejection of devotional service. Third are called Maya Yapartha Gyan, or those persons whose knowledge has been nullified by the influence of illusionary material energy. They are mostly very learned fellows, great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. But the illusionary energy misguides them, and therefore they disobey the Supreme Lord. And finally, the 4th type are called Ashuram Bhavam Ashrita, or those of demoniac principles. This class is openly atheistic. Some of them argue that the Supreme Lord can never descend upon this material world, but they are unable to give any tangible reasons as to why not. There are others who make him subordinate to the impersonal feature, although the opposite is declared in the Gita. Envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the atheists will present a number of illicit incarnations manufactured in the factory of his brain. Such persons, whose very principle of life is to decry the personality of Godhead, cannot surrender unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Next, Krishna explains the 4 kinds of pious men that begin to render devotional service: the distress, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for the absolute knowledge. The distressed pray to the Lord to end their suffering. One who desires wealth prays for some economic benefit. The curious inquisitively approaches to understand the soul or to become self-realized. Then there is the Jnani, one who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. The first 3 are also objects of Krishna's affection because they have come to him, even if it is to have their desires satisfied. Of these, the one who is full of knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him, and he is very dear to me. Bhakti is rare even among jnanis, and its development usually takes a long time. Association with pure devotees quickens the process, because by association one hears and chants about Krishnas, whose glories are the essence of transcendental knowledge. Text number 20. I am in everyone's heart as a supersoul, and as soon as one desires to worship the demigods, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to some particular deity. Endowed with such a faith, he seeks favor of a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Unintelligent men who know me not think that I have assumed this form and personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. O Scion of Bharat, O Conqueror of the Foe, all living entities are born into delusion, overcome by the dualities of desire and hate. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental and fruitive activities. Those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principle of all material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can, with steadfast mind, understand and know me even at the time of death. Krishna ends this chapter discussing the higher benefit in worshiping him directly instead of approaching some demigod. Everything emanates from Krishna. Why go to the middleman? The destination of those who worship the demigods is different than the destination of those who worship Krishna directly. Under the influence of the lower modes, the less intelligent foolish think the demigods can fulfill their desires more quickly than Krishna. In fact, Krishna does fill his devotees' desires, but it takes longer, for he simultaneously purifies the hearts of all who approach him. The fruits that demigods offer their worshippers are ultimately awarded by Krishna. Even the faith that the demigod worshippers possess is given by Krishna and not by the demigods. Although all is ultimately given by Krishna, still, because demigod worshippers have not directly approached Krishna, they cannot be liberated. As the demigods eventually perish, so do the fruits that they offer. Both Krishna and the demigods give fruits to their worshippers, but the demigod followers are called less intelligent because what they obtain will not last long. Krishna's devotees, even those who have material desires, will ultimately enter into the eternal spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada mentions, however, that if the demigods are worshipped with understanding of their position as the Lord's expansions, then the result of worshiping them is permanent. Bharat Maharaj is an example of one who worshipped the demigods as Lord Vishnu's agents and not for material rewards. From the beginning of creation, the conditioned living entities are born into illusionary world of duality, desire, and hate. Srila Prabhupada says, such deluded persons symptomatically dwell in dualities of dishonor and honor, misery and happiness, woman and man, good and bad, pleasure and pain, etc. Thinking, this is my wife, this is my house, I am the master of this house, I am the husband of this wife. These are the dualities of delusion. Those who are deluded by dualities are completely foolish and therefore cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pious persons are qualified to take to devotional service, not exactly because of their piety, but because their piety attracts a pure devotee's mercy. It is the mercy of the Lord's devotee and nothing else that destroys sins and establishes faith in bhakti. Thus, it is the bhakti's business to distribute Krishna consciousness to others. Srila Prabhupada writes, all the devotees of the Lord transverse this earth just to recover the conditioned souls from their delusion. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan's comment points directly to the unique, magnanimous contribution of Srila Prabhupada. Those living beings who have received the merciful glance of the topmost pure devotees will have all their sinful reactions destroyed, as stated in Shruti. The personal servants of Lord Vishnu wander this world to purify the conditioned souls. What characteristics are found in those who receive such mercy? Becoming firm in their vows and gaining determination by virtue of the association of great souls, they are freed from the delusion of duality. Coming to understand the truth about Krishna, they engage in worshiping Krishna. How magnificent, then, was Srila Prabhupada. He so widely cast his purifying glance that it fell upon even the impious and those engaged in the most unfortunate works, and thus he created their good fortune. That ends this chapter. Thank you for watching. Hope you'll return when we will discuss chapter 8 entitled Attaining the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujaga Sriji Bhagopalakum Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tana Param Primam Tambani Vira Dhira Jana Priya Kana Nima Sajam Pujito Krishna Kirtana Gana